And imagine marginalized kids who faces gender inequalities, economic deprivation, and even most of the time they are not even given the trust to try and fail. So how would we even dream of empowerment? We have done it because we believed in these kids. We wanted to see where can all this go. As an adult, a lot of time we talk about the importance of making our education relevant for the teenagers, kids and youth. But how many of us actually put them at the spotlight? How many of us actually really listen to their opinions? How many of us, adults, are willing to fail with them? Not many. This brings us to how we create and curate an ecosystem that is safe for everyone. Having the makers movement and the makers community in an interior district like Tenom is a privilege for an educator like me to be part of it. Yes, we started it, but imagine an ecosystem with only one entity. We cannot work in silos. And having help and support from many people, from our leaders, from our community, parents, agencies, and local, who believed in our dream. Only then the makers movement were able to develop organically and sustain as we walked into our 7th year in Tenom Innovation Center. Today, what we are doing and what we are really hoping and working to ensure that empowerment in marginalized communities doesn't only restricted to the interior district of Tenom. Just to bring all of you to the map of Sabah, just to make sure everyone understands this is the map of Sabah. There's a joke, right, on social media. Right, now, the map of Sabah shows where we started Tenom Innovation Center. We are somewhere in the side, back, down there, and then we have slowly evolved, winning the Malaysia Teacher Prize in 2022, given me the access to do this even more. I feel so empowered to lead a community where nobody told me I could. Never did people came to me and say, Anuthra, lead this movement. None. But the empowerment within me and my friends, team, we have now scaled to more ecosystem leaders at the respective districts. And this happens in the span of 2 years, 2022, 23 and 24. Having other teachers, other educators, other officers in different community, helping their marginalized kids and youth is not something easy. But we have done it to prove the concept that collectiveness is the key to ensuring that such movement catch fire. When we started, we were the only community maker space in Sabah. In fact, probably in Malaysia. But today we are glad to say that people understand us a little bit more better. And having these maker spaces leader allows us to dream big. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, imagine if every one of you in this hall feel empowered. What would that be like? And think about you going back to your community. What would you do? If you are empowered enough, without self-sabotaging yourself, without that imposter syndrome killing you, what kind of initiative could you start at your community? And think about Malaysia, or even the poorest state, Sabah, if each of us are able to empower the youth. The TED Talk that I watched recently, it's a TED Talk 11 years ago by Victor Huang. He's a CEO of T2 Ventures, a firm in Silicon Valley, talking about harvesting rainforests. In innovation, the agenda of innovation, it's very important for us to understand that harvesting the big ideas is more important than taking the best idea and working on it. Because a lot of time, we talk about profit. So we talk about what will work and go on from there, forgetting that the crazy big ideas in the rainforest, that ideas that comes from the young kids and teenagers and youth, worth exploring. So harvesting rainforests is like harvesting potential. When you have community maker spaces and makers movement at every ecosystem in where your community is, we are opening up opportunities for us to harvest potentials in our young minds. We talk about how they are the future, but little do we really listen to them when they were young. And these young people hold the key to the kind of diverse and progressive Malaysia all of us are dreaming of. So harvesting these potential, think about if Tenom Innovation Center were never built in 2018. I will not be standing here sharing with you the stories of 11 to 12 other new maker spaces and ecosystem, similar movement in Sabah. Think if all this didn't exist. How many potentials have we lost? How many youth and teenagers from the marginalized communities have huge and big dreams they never had and will never have? This brings me to the importance of collective impact. The collective impact model talks about how we have to work collectively with a shared mission, goals, towards realizing the true potential of our client. For us, STEM educators, passionate STEM enthusiasts, digital making society, everyone is everywhere, coming together and supporting each other in a collective manner allows us not just to impact our students with shared skills and knowledge. We can do 101 trainings. But where is all this going to go? In the end of the day, I still remember vividly one of my students, she's a girl. She came to me and said, "Teacher, I want to pursue engineering." But my mom said no. Because she said, if it's your brother, he probably would be able to do it. Will you be able to do it? Do you want to do something easier? From the voice of a mom, from the perspective of a mom, it's her concern, it's her care, it's her love for the daughter. She wants to ensure that the daughter will survive university life without much struggle. But what is it from the other perspective of an educator who dreamed to empower this girl to pursue her dream? It feels like even the parents in the society is never really ready yet to allow the girls to go out and pursue very technical fields. I still remember she came back to me. She went to matriculation, choosing the course the parents wanted her to do. And after that, she came to me, "Teacher, I got into electronics, computer engineering." So the first thing I asked was, your parents are okay with that? No? Then, what happened? I didn't tell them. I applied for it, I got it, and they have no choice now to support me. And that's how empowered she became. And I'm so glad that today she's leading her robotic club in University Malaysia Sabah. So think about that many girls we probably miss because there's no community to support. Parents will always be parents. They will support their children regardless of the choice they make. But again, the society needs to change. And for society to change, it comes back to how we feel empowered with our movement, create more leaders, putting our students, our youth as the central of the vision and building from that. I would like to end my talk today by bringing all of you to believe that every one of us are unique. Every one of us has a power. This is a picture of the community in Pulau Banggi, Sabah. It's in Kudat. It's the further northeast area. For us to go there, it was one whole day travel by road, by boat. And the community that came for the program, you will never believe. 6 schools had to take boat again to come to the place that we actually took a boat to. That's how remote we live in. But look at the crowd, look at the empowerment, look at the happiness of the community in Pulau Banggi. They set up their own community makerspace. They are still going on with their programs with digital education in a place that doesn't have electricity access 24 hours. They use generators. And we experienced how to carry out digital training even without access of internet. It's possible, it's doable. So think about if all of us is able to understand what the local need is. All we need is one empowered individual to start the movement and then bring in the community and help tap talent and potentials in our marginalized communities. If every one of us are able to support the NGOs, agencies, government, non-government, and simply parents, Sabah has hope to come out from that 0.2% of hardcore poverty. Thank you.